It's Wednesday, September 20th. This is an end of the day SPY recap. And today on the daily chart, you can see we end up with a pretty big 3-bar that closed red to the downside. We took out the high of the previous day, the low of the previous day. On our move to start up, you can see here we failed to reach our target. And then once we came back through the midpoint of the prior day, we worked all the way to the lows and closed lower. Today was Federal Reserve announcement day, so it was kind of a tale of two kind of sessions, the morning session and the afternoon session. And again, just referring back to some of the recap videos we've been talking about, the context in play all along is still these double inside 2 weeks in a row inside bars. Were we going to break out and continue, which obviously looks like we're doing right now, or we're going to break out and possibly fail and come back through the range to the upside? So that's the context in play. That's why even, the last few days we've been at a key inflection point here to start the week, breaking out or failing and going back through the range. So obviously yesterday we had that potential failure looking bar that looked like it kind of tried lower but then closed up in a kind of a hammer look, and you kind of expected it to move higher here and possibly start the move to move all the way back through the range. And if you look at the pre-market range today between the blue lines, I'll get to the 15-minute chart in a second, we did open up near the highs. We took out the high of the previous day, which was kind of expected, but we never had any kind of move to go above the pre-market high and work towards our target and give us any indication on the buy side that we were. You didn't know you were going to fail at the moment, but that's what ended up happening after the Federal Reserve made their announcement. So if we go to the 15-minute chart today, like I said, right out of the gates, you had that first bar kind of green with a hammer bar. I actually bought some calls here. I discussed it after this up move and, the potential failure yesterday. I figured we'd try to go a little higher. I was ready to scale out kind of above these the pre-market range, just because I know that's an area where it was targeting and you never know for sure what was going to happen. I didn't get hit. I didn't get my fill there, and then I had to take a very small loss. I shot a video on that. Then just as the day was going on, so you never really had that break. You had the breakout above bar one. You never really reached the pre-market highs, and then you came back down through the halfway point of bar one. So that to me is my stop order here, very small loss. And then, I shot a video how I was watching the market, and when we kind of came up here and had a red bar, I assumed we were going to take out the lows of the day, and I on this red bar right here, and I bought some puts just to see if maybe we'd head down here before the Fed announcement. I scaled out and then ended up, when I saw this reversal here, just took a small gain on that trade. So very small loss, very small gain. I was kind of even just watching. And then bottom line is, with that context in play, if you look at the level here, are we going to kind of fail this whole weekly, breakout point and head higher, or are we going to continue a lot lower? We look like we tried to reverse that yesterday, but now we're right back to that area here as the Fed made their announcement. You had the very volatile bar that went below that area, and then you had the inside bar that, looked like maybe, all right, we're going to just have a fake move hold. We get the inside bar breakout to the upside. We took out our target and then immediately had a 2 up, 2 down. And after this red bar right here, to me, it was clear after all day long not being able to move up, and then the Fed announcement taking place and watching price action, were we going to just bounce, just have a fake move like often happens and come all the way back up, and then kind of confirm maybe we have a breakout happening in that big picture if we can get above the towards that intraday high. But once we failed there and went lower, to me that signaled we likely are breaking out of the downside of that double inside week. So I bought puts here, took out the low of the day, and just kind of continued all day long. And then I discussed how I'm holding on to a bunch of the position. I scaled out right at the end of the day just to play it safe. The only thing that's tricky to me, just in terms of the structure, is this is a 3-bar, and sometimes 3 bars are just broadening action on this time frame and taking out higher highs, lower lows, and then you start back up again. I sense that given the big picture that we're breaking out of these two, inside bars, that we're heading down to those targets. So even on a 3-2, reversal, you usually get a 3-2 down, 2 up, which means you go a little lower tomorrow, and we'll see if that builds momentum or not. Sometimes you get a 1 bar after this 3. Sometimes you just get a 1 bar in here before you move up. It's rare that you get it's possible that you get maybe a quick move to take out those lows and then start all the way back up to the midpoint of the range. It's also possible we gap up tomorrow. I'm taking that risk, I guess, that we gap up halfway point and immediately have a 2 up and kind of trap all these people who went short, which would include me. But anyway, I scaled out so that I'm at pretty low risk about the whole thing, and hopefully, at least what I'm looking at, I'd like to see it continue lower. I think we'll get, with this big red bar, some continuation. We'll see tomorrow, Thursday, how really the day closes. That'll determine if we're heading to the target. And quite frankly, we can reach those we can just continue strongly down, given that it's a big breakout here. So that's the context. We've been watching this very closely since the beginning of the week. Now it looks like we have our confirmation that we're breaking out of that with targets down below. So we'll kind of have those expectations until proven otherwise. We'll see if we follow through after this red bar lower tomorrow. We'll see kind of what kind of structure unfolds and how the daily bar ends up. All kinds of things to test that. But until proven otherwise, I'm looking for us to kind of head down that way. And we will see, if that occurs in the next 2 days here.